Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Jokers Us Gaming proudly presents to you some MLB The Show 24 with some more Blue Jays baseball for the season. As this is the 95th game of the year, today the Blue Jays are in San Francisco. The 74-20 Blue Jays, the best in the MLB, take on the 44-49 San Francisco Giants. Giants, of course, hoping to prevent the Jays to sweep them today, as the Jays are looking to get another win in the column here against the Giants. The Giants will try to prevent that happening with their pitcher in Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, of course, only has a 4-3 record with an ERA of 2.11. Not bad under the circumstances, even though he has not been part of what looks like many decisions in San Francisco's Giants season this year. Even though he has a good ERA of 2.11, his record is only 4-3. While the Jays will try to give Matthew Boyd his first double-digit win of the year, number 10. He is currently 9-1 with an ERA of 2.50. He is looking to get his 10th victory today against the San Francisco Giants. Jays, of course, like I said, have won the first two games against San Francisco. They ended up coming back late in the previous video's episode, where, of course, George Springer had tied the game, and then Justin Turner ends up hitting, which ends up being the game winner in the ninth, with then, of course, Brad Hands comes in and does his job and gets his 25th save of the year. So ends up giving the Jays the series. Now, of course, the Jays will take on San Francisco Giants, who have now dropped from 3rd to 4th in the standings in the National League West. Not the way the Giants really wanted to go, but they are rebuilding this year. They are a rebuilding team this year, as the roster kind of shows, even though they did get some big signings like Matt Chapman, last year's Golden Glover for the Blue Jays, Michael Cotrero, another guy that they ended up bringing over from the Mets. Of course, they brought him last year. Anyhow, nevertheless, today the Jays will put on their gray uniforms in Orchard Park here in San Francisco. Is clear skies today. Matthew Boyd, of course, like I said, will be the starting pitcher. It looks like the lineup will, I think, yeah, it looks like the lineup's going to somewhat remain the same. Only difference change here that I see is maybe Kevin Kiermaier going to play in his normal position in center field, while George will swing from center field, who was in center field in the previous episode, will swing back to right field. So that's the only changes from the lineup from the previous video. Also, Danny Jansen will be the starting catcher. Brian Silva was the catcher in the previous video. So So that's the lineup for Toronto. As for the Giants, looks like the same lineup they had in the previous video. So we will now see the Blue Jays against the Giants. We take you to John and Chris to call most of this action between these two clubs, as the Blue Jays look to sweep the Giants here in San Francisco.
MLB The Show has interleague action for you this afternoon. It's the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the San Francisco Giants. John Shabby and Chris Singleton with you. So the Toronto Blue Jays have taken the first two games of this series, and today they'll go for the sweep. They played well, Chris, and they're looking for more of the same in this one.
Yeah, they've been the side shaking hands on the field after each game so far. Played solid baseball to earn those wins, as you said, but every game offers up its own unique challenges. So we'll see what those are today, but there's always a little extra motivation when you have an opportunity to sweep a series.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this.
Both games have been close so far. Let's see how the third game ends up doing. Ray's only done 9 games.
I think in this one, he's going to need to control that a little bit better. Try to limit
So obviously he was called up,
stay in that windup
and
instead
he's
of the
currently
stretch.
4-3.
When he does allow base runners, be able to throw a pitch. He's going to get a swing and miss, get out of the inning so that a base hit doesn't do more
He has a
damage
good
and put his team
ERA of
behind the
2.11.
Here's George Springer to start it off.
George Springer hits it right to short. Short the first in time for the first out. Good stop by the Giants defensively.
Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. A guy who's been huge for them over the last month plus, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Well, he's in
Really?
pretty good company right now on that.
I thought he's
AL
been
leaderboard
struggling.
for home runs, top 5 for the guy, and he's one of the better home run hitters in the league this year. You don't see him missing too many pitches, and when he gets the one that he wants, he doesn't miss it. It goes a long way.
That hit will drop for a base hit for Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Nice line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
Kind of dropped in no man's land now.
He's got 4 hits in the series on 9 at-bats.
Bo hits it,
In the air. Lee sizes this one up.
but the center fielder Lee will chase that down. So that's a big out, especially when you're taking on the Blue Jays.
Turner climbs in on that right side.
As I said before, Justin Turner, playing in today's game, ends up getting the game-winning home run in yesterday's game.
Ripped on a line.
Hits one deep. Lee chases it and is there.
For the out. And that is that.
And that's it for the Blue Jays.
And now we'll see what the Giants can do. No score. Major League Baseball is on the show.
Giants, of course, in the previous video, started the game off with a home run from their first batter. See what he does. He'll be taking on Matthew Boyd.
Well, he's been a very dependable
Boyd,
starter for his club.
ERA is
What stands out
250.
for me is that left-handed hitters have really struggled batting below 200 against him, and it just tells me they have a hard time tracking the baseball. Maybe it's the release point, maybe it's the motion, but just some way, somehow, they've got to figure out a way to pick it up and try to have some success from the left side.
Matthew Boyd was a free agent, ended up signing with the Blue Jays.
Lifted in the air, right field. And that is Springer. Makes the grab, and there's one down.
He ended up getting called up, and since then he's been on a tear.
Lots of traffic on the bases, but
9-1 for his record.
on base. Couldn't cash in their chances, Chris.
They had plenty of chances. There's nobody to blame it on but themselves offensively. They just did a poor job converting in those situations. You have to figure out what's your plan going to be. Maybe watch some tape from the last game. Make the adjustments. So if you get those opportunities in this one, you've got a much better chance of scoring some runs.
Just missed.
Austin Slayer batting .225 this year.
That one
Hit
the other
right
way.
to Vlad. Vlad will scoop that for a second out.
Pretty well. I know it didn't produce a hit, but he made solid contact, and that's all you're looking to do anytime you're at the plate.
Wade Jr. playing in his second game of this series.
He went 0 for 4.
Well, he does get better results as he starts the game with a single for the Giants for the first time since they start the game. Gets the Giants their first hit of the game.
3 for 8 in the series coming in.
Jose Soler,
One hammered, but pulled foul.
who's actually somewhat quiet yesterday, had a phenomenal game against the Blue Jays with deep hits like that. But of course, this one dies at the warning track, and the Jays get out the inning unscathed.
No score.
Davis Snyder will start things off in the top of the second. This is still a no-run game.
Back here in San Francisco. And the batter now, number 36.
Davis Snyder has a batting average of 311, taking on, of course, Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray ended the game with a 2.11 ERA. Gives up a hit up the middle. Lee, of course, will quickly get it in, and Snyder is on base.
That'll make you feel good as a hitter right there. Kind of a risky pitch coming inside.
Jays, of course, have won the first 2 games in tight series wins. But in the first game, 7-5, and then coming back to tie the game and only to win it in the 9th, 2-1. This, of course, is the third game of this 3-game series. That's it. There's one there. There's 2. Beautiful double play. 5-4-3 double play. Matt Chapman does his job. The former Gold Glove winner of last year with the Jays gets a beautiful double play.
First offering is fouled off.
Tom Falefa now up with 2 outs here.
He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up.
Tom Falefa hits it up the middle. That will drop. Lee will, of course, quickly get it in. Tom Falefa will be safe on first with that single.
His bat stays in the zone on plane for an extended period of time. And guys like that, they have a high
Ryan Silver playing the DH today, who was the catcher in yesterday's game.
And even when you don't get it great, it's still hit hard enough.
That could drop.
Like that in front of the center fielder.
Oh, actually, too much hang time as it ends up dropping in the left fielder's glove to end the inning.
And we're back. We head to the bottom of the second. Now, here is Michael Conforto.
Michael Conforto, who I was talking about in yesterday's, in the previous videos episodes. Grounds out to Bo Bichette as Bo makes a beautiful throw to first to get the out.
Usually a lot of damage done with that pitch. A hard grounder, but he wanted to get that ball in the air, maybe drive it into the gap.
Jung-Hoo Lee, batting with 1 down, takes the strike.
Jung-Hoo Lee was 2 for 3 with a walk in yesterday's game. Gives a big shot.
Drifts towards it. Tries to make the play, but it's foul.
If that was in play, that would have been caught, as that did not have the distance. That one did, but that is well foul.
Base is empty.
That's hit deep, but it's going to be shallow. As Springer is right there to scoop the second out.
Now the catcher up to hit, Patrick Bailey. Hit the first 2 games of the series. He's 0 for 8.
Patrick Bailey, of course, got caught swinging at a bad pitch to be the final in yesterday's game. Grounds out there. And so, no score after the end of 2.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Well, here we go, top of the third, scoreless game. Here's Kiermaier now.
Kevin Kiermaier, who had yesterday off, is playing today. Hits it right to Lee. Lee can't get there in time. And one of the fastest men on base is now on base.
And the batter is George Springer.
How well will San Francisco pay attention to him? They let him run. Close play. But not in time. 43rd stolen base for Kevin Kiermaier. That was a very close play. But fortunately could not get the tag in time. So Kevin Kiermaier is now in scoring position. That's hit deep, but not deep enough to have Kiermaier take an attempt to go to third. One is out. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is up. Kiermaier runs, and it's going to be another close play, but not in time. Number 44 for the year for Kevin Kiermaier.
You've got to stay close. Well, they didn't do a very good job of that. Get a comfortable lead, got a great jump, and that's how you steal third base.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. was the guy highlighted today, ends up grounding out, but gets an RBI, and the Jays officially have the lead.
Got to make sure you put the ball in play. Put it on the ground, brought that run in.
Bo Bichette gets a chance to hit. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center.
Bo Bichette now up. 2 outs, nobody on. Jays do score 1 run by Vlad Guerrero Jr. as Bo is called out.
1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one
The 2 stolen bases pay off for the Blue Jays as Kevin Kiermaier steals his 43rd and 44th stolen base, which ends up, of course, paying off as Vlad Guerrero grounds out but gets Kiermaier in for the RBI. Matt Chapman had a couple good hits in yesterday's game.
out there to center.
Hits a deep one, but right to Kevin Kiermaier.
He was all over that first pitch fastball. Just barely missed it. Man, this guy was ready to hit.
Nick Altman hits one, but it goes right into a running George Springer, who chases that down for the second out here in the third.
So the batting order turns over. Here's the second baseman, Thairo Estrada.
Thairo Estrada, of course, had a
That one is in for a strike.
decent game. He spent 6 years in the league with the Yankees and the Giants. He hit a home run in yesterday's game, in his first play appearance. Fouls that off. At first, the way the game was going, it looked like the Giants were going to tie this series. Only for the Jays to come back in the 8th to tie it, and then in the 9th to win it. Of course, Justin Turner was the winning home run over Tyler Rogers.
Here's a rip to short, but he's there for the third out. Nothing doing there for
And the leading man hits a direct shot right to Bo Bichette, who easily grabs that. And so at the end of 3, it's the Jays 1, the Giants nothing.
And now the Toronto cleanup hitter, Justin Turner.
Justin Turner, who was 2 for 5 in yesterday's game. Of course, getting the leading winning home run.
Hit hard, should be extra bases.
Will start things off with a bang as he gets a standing
And he's there with a leadoff
double. That will be double number 22 for Justin Turner. Back-to-back games with doubles. As like I said, Justin Turner was 2 for 5 in yesterday's game, getting a double, and which ends up being a game-winning home run in the ninth. Is now on second. That will chase the runner back, and being how that ball was hit, it was a very hard play defensively as the shortstop dives, throws, and just not in time.
Danny Jansen to hit here.
So Danny Jansen now up. Jansen looks to bunt, and it pays off as that advances the runners to second to third. A 5-3 sacrifice works. Danny Jansen put 2 runners in scoring position now.
So 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Connor Falefa.
Next up for the Blue Jays.
Connor Falefa looking to get some RBIs, and just misses that. He spent 7 years in his career. Texas, the Yankees, of course, last year. Was a Golden Glover last year.
Slice to right.
Ends up getting 1 run in, 2 runs in. Connor Falefa ends up getting a double out of that, his 22nd double and 2 RBIs, and now the Jays have a 3-0 lead. If Connor Falefa was a little faster, he would have got his second triple of the year. Brian Servitor with 1 out as a man in scoring position. Hits it deep. Could be a nope. Nobody catches it. So Servitor will have another play at the plate. He's currently facing an 0-1 count. Connor Falefa is on second with 1 out. He pops that up. The second baseman calls everybody off. Gets the out. And Connor Falefa will remain on second with 2 outs here. But the Jays have opened up this game to a 3-0 lead.
1-for-1 with a single and a run scored so far.
Kevin Kiermaier, of course,
especially in the middle of the diamond,
ended up having a big single, which ended up resulting in 2 stolen bases.
Runner holds at third, so even with 2 outs, they didn't risk it.
Kevin Kiermaier will be safe at first. Connor Falefa, with his speed, only advances to third, so we have men on the corners. I imagine in a situation like this, with a fast man like Kevin Kiermaier, I imagine you will see him look for stolen base 45, and of course he easily gets it. That will take away the sure out on second.
Such a good catch and throw guy behind the dish. Nice job right there, but he just beat it.
Max speed 20.29 miles per hour as what is recorded by the stats. Here's George Springer, who's currently 0-2 today. Hits it right up the middle, but the pitcher is there. Gloves it and throws it in time. The first to end the inning.
Pick up a couple runs here, both coming on this 2-run double. It's now 3-0.
Color for Lefty. Gets 2 RBIs, but is left on third. While Kevin Kiermaier was left on second. John Traube, Chris Singleton, and myself, the one true joker, helping you call this action between the Blue Jays and the Giants. Jays, of course, puts in the East. Best team in baseball. Taking on, of course, San Francisco Giants, who is 4th in the West in the National League. Austin Slayer, who spent his entire 8 years with the Giants, is looking to get on base. Easy pitch to lay off there.
To put it bluntly, need to put together more competitive at-bats, and I don't think they've lived up to their own expectations at the plate. I think things are happening a little quicker than this offense would like, and we see it in the numbers. They're hitting into a lot of outs early in the at-bat.
And he just stands there and looks, and that's Matthew Boyd's first strikeout of the game. Gets caught looking. Wade Jr. This is his second game of this series. Fouls that one out of play. Wade didn't play in the first game of the series. Played the second game in the 2-1 loss to the Jays. Fouls that off.
The Blue Jays leading by 3 here in the third and final game of the series.
Wade once again fouls another one off. Matthew Boyd. Throws it outside the zone. Here is Matthew Boyd's 30th pitch of the game. And he gets Wade looking at it. Back to back. Strikeout look. No looking. Neither one batter looks at the strikeout. They both get caught looking.
I am aggressive over the heart of the plate. This guy's been filling up the strike zone, so you know you're going to get a good pitch to hit. And
Lonzo hits a deep shot. That's back. But it will die at the warning track as he missed a home run by a matter of feet, and he knows it. He did hit 2 home runs in the first game of this series, but fails to do so this time around. So at the end of 4, it's the Blue Jays 3, the Giants no score.
Back here in San Francisco, here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Ray back to work.
Got that RBI to open up the scoring where Kevin Kiermaier stole his 43rd and 44th stolen base before later stealing his 45th in this game. Ended up grounding out, but hitting Kevin Kiermaier to open up the scoring. Is safe on first. That's hit. Matt Chapman gets his second double play of the game. Another 5-4-3 double play. Matt Chapman. Go. That man. There's a reason why that man is a Golden Glover. And plays like that shows why. Chapman again is tested. And again throws a targeted third out. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Michael Conforto hoping to turn things around for the Giants here in the bottom of the 5th. Swings hard but misses.
A former All-Star, 31 years old. He's knocked in 9 over his last 10 games.
Lets that one go. Lays off. Don't get him to chase. Boyd with the pitch. Could have been called a strike, so he swung and fouled it off.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Keeping himself alive at the plate.
He wants to get his arms extended. He likes the ball away from him a little bit. Just not able to square it up.
And he swings late and strikes out. That will be strikeout number 3 for Matthew Boyd.
More fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes,
Lee,
have to be ready to pull the trigger.
who had a really decent game yesterday, was 2 for 3 with a walk.
Bases empty, 1 away. Last half of inning number 5. Now that's smacked to
Hits
right
one, but it goes right to Springer's glove for the second out there. So that's a big out.
center. And now it's going to be Patrick Bailey.
Patrick Bailey
Grounded out to first his last
has
time.
been hitless in this series so far.
That's to third.
And he will remain
Sends it
hitless
across. 3 up, 3 down. Inning over.
as he grounds out to
Giants
Justin
go down
Turner.
quietly. Still down 3-0.
So 5 innings of play. Jays still up 3-0.
So the Giants with a new pitcher on the hill, number 74.
And we all know about his slider. It's
This
just
is back-to-back games for Ryan Walker.
I'd say spin rate's very high, and it just breaks
Walker, of course, came in after Rogers gave up the home run in yesterday's game to shut the Jays down in the 2-1 loss to the Blue Jays.
There's a strike.
David Snyder, who was 0-4 in yesterday's game, swings at a high one and misses. Outside the zone, I may add. Is currently 2 for 2.
Foul ball.
Fouls that off. David Snyder,
Righty to the plate.
Mr. Mustache himself,
Fights that one away. The count remains
as many
0-2.
people looked at when he first came to the Blue Jays, made a heck of an impact,
Righty
and
reliever.
hasn't looked back in the series, ends up popping that one out in foul territory, but caught. This remains a close game here with
Danny
one out.
Jansen next up for the Blue Jays.
Danny Jansen playing catcher today, was DH in yesterday's game.
Swing and a miss. Chased it out of the zone. Action
In-
in the San Francisco bullpen. Tyler Rogers.
Danny Jansen in the series against the Seattle Mariners ended up hitting his 100th home run of his career, which ended up being 35 at the time. Has now hit 37. That's his second home run in this series. And it was a no-doubter.
His 37th homer of the year. And they tack one on the board. It's 4-0.
That was absolutely blasted. And now the Jays have a 4-0 lead here in the 6th.
Really great job of anticipation
Jays
there. He knows he
definitely
throws the sinker. That one down to the
looking
zone.
in control
Trying to beat it
to
the
sweep
spot
this
he's getting
series
to.
against the Giants. 428-footer for that no-doubt blast of a home run by Danny Jansen there. His 37th of the year. Connor Falefa, who struggled in the previous game against the Giants, is currently 2 for 2. He is 4-10 in this series. Only managed to get on base one time in yesterday's game.
Swings and fouls one off.
Connor Falefa hits it deep. That's back.
Reaching for it and
but caught right at the wall. What a catch by the left fielder.
2 outs, bases empty. And now, Brian Serven.
Brian Serven is 1-5 in this series, 0-2 today.
A swing and a miss as he
Swings at an ugly pitch. He was a 5th-round draft pick. He was claimed off of waivers from the Blue Jays, as the Rockies had put him on waivers, and they claimed him at the beginning of the year. Has managed to be the backup catcher for the Blue Jays this season. But like I said, unfortunately, he's 0-2 today, 1-5 in the series. Was the catcher for yesterday's game, DH today. Gets caught chasing one outside the zone to end the inning.
It's now a 4-0 ball game.
Jays do a little damage with that solo shot home run, number 37 of the year by Danny Jansen. A shot over the center field wall, which now gives the Jays a 4-run lead. Matthew Boyer still pitching. He might end up, the way the numbers are looking, is looking very promising. He's just over 40 pitches. Matt Chapman, the former Blue Jay Golden Glover, fouls that off. Count remains 0-2 against Chapman. Chapman will strike out. That's strikeout number 4 for the game for Matthew Boyd. Nick Alban was a 2nd-round draft pick back in 2011.
Right through there for a strike. Well, this guy on the mound's done a lot better than we would have expected. And
faces an 0-2 count now.
Game plan. They're taking too many mistake pitches for called strikes.
Swings late, fouls that off though.
Bases empty, 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 6th.
Fouls another one off. Here's pitch number 50. That's hit, but Snyder goes under it and scoops it for the 2nd out. 50 pitches in 6 innings so far for Matthew Boyd.
Back to the leadoff spot of the Giants lineup. Tyro Estrada getting ready to hit.
The lead man for the Giants, who opened up yesterday's game, was acquired from the Yankees back in 2021. Hit a home run in yesterday's game. But the Giants couldn't do anything more offensively, which you can't do against the Jays, as the Jays would end up tying in the 8th, and of course Justin Turner would end up hitting that solo shot, which ends up being the winning run. Gets caught looking, and that will end the 6th.
They're on the short end of a 4-0 score.
Looks like somewhat of a quiet bunch in the bay there. Guy coming in, maybe hoping for a souvenir. Howard Cobb pitched in the first game of this series. Comes in with a 4.06 ERA, 0-1 record. This is his 12th game of the year. Will face Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier hits it right to first, and the first baseman makes an easy grab to get the out. First pitch,
Back to the
first
leadoff
out.
spot in the
Not
Blue Jays
good.
lineup.
Not the start the Jays wanted to do here in the 7th, but it is what it is.
And that
Another
one hit to
shot.
first.
And another ground out to the first baseman. George Springer fails to get on base. Here's Vlad Guerrero Jr.
So up next for Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Outfield playing very deep.
Jr. is 2 for 3 today with both hits being singles.
He swings and
That's
it's a fly
hit
ball
deep,
center field.
but
Lee
there's too
under
much
it.
hang time. Lee is under
Makes
it,
the catch.
and that will end the
That's the third out.
top of the 7th. So we go to the 7th inning stretch where the Giants are down by 4. Slayer, Wade Jr., and Solo queue up for the Giants.
Set for the last half of the 7th. And digging in for San Francisco, Austin Slater.
Slayer fouls the first one
You
off.
can tell by their swings, this lineup is having trouble
Slayer
gauging
is
speeds.
0-2.
Timing is everything in hitting, and right now they just don't have it.
Next offer in there for a strike. And that is strike 2.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
And definitely doesn't able to stay there because that is in the glove of Kevin Kiermaier for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. Giants down by 4.
That one is absolutely
That's going to be hit off the brick wall.
It's a one-out off the wall. Should be extra bases.
There's one base looking for 3. It's going to be a close play.
Not in time. He's safe.
Off throw, but not in time, and that is Wade Jr.'s first triple of the year.
Keep that approach simple, and right there, it was perfectly executed. On time with everything.
Springer couldn't recover in time to get it
Next will be the
in,
cleanup hitter, Jorge Soler.
and Wade Jr. ends up getting a triple off of
And it
Matthew
goes
Boyd.
just foul.
These fans, they are ready to cheer about something.
And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it.
Zone. Facing an 0-2 count. Hits it.
Short.
Jays elect to give up the run to get the out.
There for
It's
the
a
out.
4-1 game now.
Third.
Well, a run comes across the score right there, but defensively, when you have a lead like this late in the ball game, you're counting outs. Nice job of simply just trading a run for an out.
Michael Conforto.
Conforto.
Conforto, sorry.
As he lays off
The
inside
0-2
ball.
in this game today. He has been somewhat struggling in this series.
The Jays leading by 3 near the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. Swings through
Matthew
it for the
Boyd will get another
Strike and a
strikeout
changeup.
to end the 7th.
So they get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Giants 1.
Bo Bichette, Justin Turner, and Davis Snyder due up for the Blue Jays in the
Top of
8th.
8th. Now it's the shortstop, Bo Bichette.
Brad Hand is warming up. And Matt Barnes is also warming up.
And the pitch. And first offering is fouled off.
Well, these Jays doing a good job of putting the ball into play, and that makes things more challenging on the defensive side. Double-digit hits, and they've done a great
Bo
job
hits it
of
right
avoiding
to
strikeout.
Chapman,
Only one of them so
who makes a
far
great
does
defensive
survive.
play to get
To
the out.
first, and Bichette is retired.
Chapman
Justin
showing
Turner,
why he's a Golden
1 for
Glover
3.
with a play like that. Here's Justin Turner, longtime rival to the San Francisco Giants.
36 years
He
old,
spent most of
and he
his
was
career
drafted in the
with
fourth
the
round
Dodgers.
back in 2006.
Was with Boston last year before signing with the Jays this year.
Off into right, and that's a base hit.
He will get that hit just past the second baseman there for a single.
Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And
David Snyder now up. He is currently 2 for 3.
You want to bomb so many positives that led to that knock.
Snyder fouls that one off. Justin Turner takes the lead and
Back in on a dive.
just safe.
Turner at first.
29,374 people watching today,
And that one
and
gets past the catcher. He's in there. So
because of the air wild pitch, Justin Turner will advance, and that will take away the double play. David Snyder facing an 0-2 count. Swings out, pitch outside the zone. Barely fouls it off. Barely touched it, actually.
And here it comes. Foul ball, it stays 0-2.
David Snyder trying to maybe add some more runs for the Blue Jays here in the 8th. Turner gets checked again. This time he is definitely safe, as he was almost caught stealing a base on first. That's going to drop. No man's land. Turner will come in. They do make a play at the plate, but it's an off throw. So David Snyder will get the RBI, and now the Jays have a 4-run lead again. Here is a man that hit a solo shot home run earlier, and that will be Danny Jansen. 37 home runs this season, over 100 in his career. Hits it right to third. Chapman gets one. And once again, Chapman shows why he's the Golden Glover as he gets another 5-4-3 double play, his third of the game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. San Fran trailing the Jays by 4.
Back here in San Francisco, ready for the bottom of the 8th. And digging in for San Francisco, Jung Hoo Lee. Ground ball up the middle.
And Jung Lee gets a base hit.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. Timing on the swing was good, able to shoot the
Patrick Bailey, who's been hitless,
that's a good approach.
officially gets a hit. There's going to be a play to third, not in time. Men on the corners, and Patrick Bailey gets his first hit. Chapman, he hits it. That will drop. And 2 runs will score.
Well, there's something really nice about getting yourself an automatic double like that. You get to stroll into second base without having to worry about a throw.
Matt Chapman is on second.
For the next hitter to kind of do the same thing.
And a man is on third.
And time is called for a mound visit now.
They're calling time here. Nick Arman is the man up. Pete Walker talking with Matthew Boy here, trying to figure things out. Maybe giving Matt Barnes or Brad Hand time to warm up.
Nick Ahmed here to hit.
There is none out in this 3-run lead for the Blue Jays.
Got to be ready to let it fly, even though he's had a lot of success on that first pitch of the at-bat.
fouled off. He was late.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
Nick fouls that off. 2 men in scoring position. None out. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Nick hits it down the line, but sails foul.
And a pitch. Swings through it.
He gets him to swing a bad one, and that's his 7th strikeout.
Tyro Estrada to the plate.
Jays elect to walk him.
And that loads up the bases.
That could force a double play. This is a
Loaded with one away. Down the number 2 hitter, Austin Slater.
Austin Slater now up.
Looking to lift the ball in the air.
Bases loaded. 1 out. That's hit deep. Looks like trouble. It is. There's 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs. Score. Actually, they send one back, and we are. And because of that hit, the Giants are 1 run away from tying this game.
The next Giant to hit. Golden opportunity right here.
They're bringing the closer in now. There comes the manager, as out the gate is Brad Hand. Brad Hand is in charge to get 4 out to get the save.
This season averaging more than 1 per inning.
Short, Bichette.
And Brad Hand ends up giving up the tying run.
Well, it's hard to sweep. It's even harder to sweep a team on the road.
Soler swings through it for strike 1.
Just missed. If he's able to connect on that.
They are electing to walk Soler now.
These fans don't like to see that because they showed up to watch him swing the bat, but this team does not want to let him beat him.
Michael Cotrell, lefty versus lefty matchup. Conforto, I should say.
Well, this is a critical spot for both the pitcher and the hitter. You can learn a lot about a guy by how he handles these pressure
1-1
situations.
count.
1-1.
That's hit, and that will definitely end the inning, but we are tied at 5.
Knotted this one up. Through 8 full, we're all tied up 5-5. So coming into the game now on defense, Tyler Fitzgerald. He'll be out in left field. Now it's
Chad
the
Green
second
warming up.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Cobb back to work.
Cobb gives up a high shot, but it goes into the right fielder's glove. A big out.
Brian Serven next up.
Brian Serven. Time is called. They're electing to bring in left-hander Joey Votto.
Better matchup with a left-handed bat.
Votto has came up big in the past as a pitch hitter, but fails to do so as he grounds out.
And Votto is retired.
And that is 2 outs now.
Nice job of the pitcher to bear down, make the pitch, get the ground
San
ball.
Francisco
Excellent piece of work.
Kevin Kiermaier next up for the Blue
just
Jays.
needs to get Kevin Kiermaier to possibly get a winner in the ninth.
High fly
Kiermaier
ball
hits
down
it.
left field line.
It sails left,
Fitzgerald makes
but
the grab.
Fitzgerald is there, who came in as a
6, 7, 8 schedule
as
to
a
start
pitch
the bottom
runner,
of the ninth.
makes the grab.
5-5.
Lee scheduled up.
Back here at Oracle Park, all set for the bottom of the
It will
ninth.
be a lefty
Digging in for
versus
San
lefty
Francisco.
matches.
Jung-Hoo Lee, the pitch.
Lee hits
Into
it,
center.
and I'm pretty sure that will be it for Brad Hands.
And there's one away.
Kevin Kiermaier gets that.
Patrick Bailey, the next
Patrick
Giants
Bailey, who is a switch hitter, will now face
pitcher down
Matt
for the
Barnes.
Jays, Matt Barnes.
He's having a ton of success facing left-handed hitters this season.
Barnes
so
could
this
face
seems like a
his
smart
first
move to
loss
turn
of
to
the
him with
year.
lefty at the plate.
He is 3-0 in 22 games with a very good ERA. Barnes, who signed with the Blue Jays as a free agent,
Ripped. Base
gives up a hit.
field. And the winning run is aboard.
And
Always feels amazing
we,
getting the
oh
job done when the team
baby,
needs it. It's just
Patrick
bigger than your own
Bailey, who's
That's a good sound coming off the bat.
who
And as he
the last
connected
two
out
hits
into the outfield,
he's came
that's
up
one of those
has
swings where you
came
just don't
through
even
with
feel the ball
singles.
hit the barrel. That's a pure stroke.
Matt Chapman, former Blue Jay, now up.
That's in there. Strike one.
The dangerous thing is he could advance the runner, as he does have lots of power.
Swings through that one out in front that time.
Chapman is 1-3 today. And he strikes out. What a huge strikeout for the Blue Jays.
Once back at the plate. 2 strikes, sort of pitcher hoping for a bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very
Now, in
good
case you were
location,
wondering, if this game goes to extra innings, there is no runner on second. I have taken that mode off. I have went to old school way.
Big comment.
I don't like the new system, never have.
As he was out front
I
that
understood
time.
why they did it at the time. Sure, it fastens the game up, makes things interesting, but I like the old school way.
Trying to send this to extra innings. Swing and a miss.
And we are in extra innings as
We'll play extra innings in this
Matt
one.
Barnes does
For San
his
Francisco.
job.
And this remains a 5-5 ball game.
Top of the order, George Springer, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette up. Can the Jays pull off a comeback
And now the right fielder, George Springer.
to sweep the Giants? Alex Cobb once again on the mound.
Good live arm delivers.
Springer hits it. Just passes the shortstop.
So the goal-ahead run is
Oh,
on base for the
baby.
Well, that's his first hit in this one, so that should help him feel a little better. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that
Springer
big ball to get himself a hit.
almost gets caught there. They are. They might expect him to steal. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Here is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
That's hit well.
It's out of here.
And Vlad Guerrero Jr. came through for the Blue Jays.
Home run number 30 on the year. And now they're out in front. It's 7-5. He's set
And
the
once
first pitch
again,
to
Vlad Guerrero Jr.,
He wasn't wasting any time.
the heart and soul of Toronto himself, has came through big with a 2-shot home run, his 30th of the year. And the Jays now look to sweep the Giants
Sometimes you say it's
officially.
a sinker that didn't sink. Well, that was a splitter that just didn't split. Kind of like a BP fastball. When you throw that pitch, don't expect to get it back. You're getting the
391
baseball from the
feet.
umpire.
So they turn to the veteran pitcher in this spot, Tyler Rogers.
Tyler Rogers will come in. Rogers pitched in yesterday's game, ended up giving up a home run, which ended up being the winning home run to Justin Taylor. Justin Turner, I should say. Chad Green is scheduled to come in. If you're just joining us, Brad Hands ended up giving up the tying run in the 8th inning.
Nobody on, nobody out.
Then Matt Bonds pitched the gem of an inning for the 9th.
Strike 2.
And then we go to the top of the 10th here. Spray gets on base, followed by Vlad Guerrero hitting a shot just over the left center wall, which we are now where we're at with the Jays. Bochet is out, but the Jays have a 2-run lead.
Just nasty. Looks like a fastball thigh high that you got to protect the zone, and then it's just that late break that fools you. It kind of makes you look silly.
Justin Turner once again will face Tyler Rogers. Second time that these two have met. Turner this time grounds out, where the last time he homered.
In the zone right there and produced exactly what he was looking for. Ball on the ground, nice ground out.
Davis Snyder now up.
Here's the left fielder.
Snyder is 3 for 4.
Swing and a miss, and he was fooled.
There's a certain point where you have to commit to what you
They
think
thought
you
about
see,
bringing in Dalton Varsha, the left-hander, but Snyder is 3 for 4 today, so that's probably why he is getting the plate. And that's knocked down, but Snyder is there, and he's safe. So it will be a base hit for Davis Snyder. Danny Jansen now up. They can't take him out because Brian Silva was the DH, and he was taken out by Joey Votto. San Fran's defense, after giving up the 2 runs, shut the Jays down. It's now a 7-5 game. The Jays looking to sweep the Giants. And here comes former closer Chad Green. This will be Green's first save attempt of the year.
So this is an important outing for him to get on the right track.
Green, a former closer for the Yankees. Bo makes a great play in time.
Cat-like reflexes right there. Lays out, knocks the ball down, and then fires with that rocket arm all the way across the diamond. Man, put this guy in the mound.
What a defensive diving stop by Bo Bichette. And in time to Black Grill for the big out.
Tyler Fitzgerald came into the game as a pinch runner. This is his first trip to the plate in this one.
Tyler Fitzgerald in his one and only play attempt grounds out. Tyler Fitzgerald was running as a pitch runner in back-to-back games. Gets his first attempt at the plate. Only the ground out. Wade Jr. now up. Wade Jr. is 2 for 4.
Trying to close out a 2-run lead here in extra innings.
Chad Green gives up a hit. And the tying run is at the plate.
And here is Jorge Soler.
With a lefty possibly coming up.
Now Mount is incoming. And with the reliever just beginning throwing out there in the bullpen. This should buy a little more time.
Chad Green and the Jays talking things out. This is a big time situation here. Vaughn Solo, who's been hitless in this game, hits it right to third. Turner makes the play in time, and the Jays win.
Make it 6 straight victories.
Well, with this 6th win in a row, all of a sudden, you start to look around up and down the lineup, to your left, to your right as a player, and you say, you know what, we're good. We may have had some tough times earlier on.
Justin Turner plays that well enough to get the third and final out. Matt Barnes will get his 4th win of the year. Alex Cobb gets his 2nd loss, going 0-2. Matt Barnes, of course, goes 4-0 as a pitcher. And, of course, Chad Green comes in the extra inning of the 10th and gets his first save of the year. Another close game between these two clubs. First game was a 7-5 victory for the Blue Jays. Second game was a 2-1 victory for the Blue Jays. This one is a 7-5 victory. Jays officially sweep the Giants with a 7-5 win. Nobles for the Blue Jays and San Francisco. First we go to San Francisco. We always go to the challengers of the Blue Jays. Their Nobles in this situation was Patrick Bailey, who was hitless for this entire series, ends up getting a couple singles, going 2 for 4 today. So, in a way, he's got to feel pretty good after struggling the first 2 games against the Blue Jays. Matt Chapman, he ends up going 1 for 4, gets a beautiful double. Austin Slayer, he also goes 1 and 4, also getting a double, a couple RBIs himself. Wade Jr., second game in this series, actually is a pretty good game. He goes 3 for 5, and he ended up getting an RBI plus a triple. Now for the Blue Jays, we had Justin Turner going 2 for 5 with the double, couple of runs in. Danny Jansen goes 1 and 4, hitting his 37th home run of the year. Kevin Kiermaier gets a couple of singles, goes 2 for 4. He got a couple stolen bases before getting knocked in by today's player of the game, who ends up being the player of the game hands down, especially with what he did. He goes 3 for 5, gets 3 RBIs, and of course he hit his 30th home run in the 10th inning, a 2-run shot, which gave the Jays that 7-5 lead. Of course, that 2-run shot was hit off of Alex Cobb. Cobb will officially go 0-2 in his career for this season, pitching 3 innings, giving up 4 hits, allowing 3 earned runs. Matthew Barnes will come in, gets 2 outs, gives up 1 hit, gets a couple strikeouts, does his job. He ends up being the winning pitcher, going 4-0 for the season. And then, of course, Chad Green, because they already brought in Brad Hands, who could not get the save, ends up getting his first save of the year. And, of course, as we see on the board there, player of the game, of course, goes to Vlad Guerrero Jr. 3 big runs for his 3 RBIs. He was the guy that hit in stolen base man himself, Kevin Kiermaier, who ended up stealing 3 bases today, going to 45 stolen bases. He ends up coming up big in the 10th inning, getting a 2-run shot home run, which gave the Jays the lead. And then, of course, like I said, Chad Green ends up coming in to get the save, his first of the year, while Matt Barnes gets his 4th win of the year, going 4-0. The Jays end up sweeping the Giants in another close game. First game, like I said, 7-5. Second game, 2-1. This game, 7-5. Every score went into the Blue Jays' favor, and they end up winning this one to sweep the Giants with that 7-5 victory. We'll look at the schedule before we call it a day. While the screen is loading up here, I'd like to thank John and Chris for calling most of the action. As you can see, the Jays are on a 6-game winning streak after losing to Houston on their last game 4-1 before winning 7-5 over Seattle, then 11-2 over Seattle, then 11-5 over Seattle. Then, of course, they take a day off, go to San Francisco, win the first game 7-5, come back, tie the game in the 8th inning where Justin Turner comes in the 9th, gets the home run, which ends up being the winner with a 2-1 victory for the Blue Jays there. And then the Jays end up blowing the lead where the Giants came back and tied it, but could not win it as it goes to extra innings, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. comes through with a 2-shot home run, which ends up being a 7-5 victory, which will give the Jays their 6th win in a row before they go and play an afternoon game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Early games, not surprised that every game is early. First one's at 11 o'clock, second game's 2 in the afternoon, third game's 12, and then we got the home run derby, and then the All-Star game. So we are officially 3 games away from the All-Star break. Should be interesting to see what happens when it comes down to it. Don't know how the home run derby and All-Star works in a season. Never played it updated version. Last time I completed the season was, I think, back in like 2016, 2017, where I really focused on franchise before focusing on, basically online stuff. This year I decided focus more on franchise, as you see here, as this, of course, was the 95th game of the Blue Jays season for the 2024 season. So far, as you can tell, I'm doing pretty good, 75-20. Let's look at some of the stuff. Some transactions. Rangers has called up Tyler Mann to the majors, and they also, Rangers looks like they beefed up by calling their the former Met, Jacob deGrom, up to the big leagues, which means I'm just curious. Fortunately, I got let's see. So yeah, I'm 75-20 with the Blue Jays. This is, of course, like I said, first time I've really focused on franchise mode. Unfortunately, I was not really interested in online mode this year against other players. Wasn't too happy with MLB The Show. In case you haven't heard, MLB The Show's people from San Diego studios there has actually stated that there's going to be specific changes, which is supposed to be meaning big changes coming to the franchise. One of the stories I heard was more 90s players that be put in card form, which could mean which of course, in case you're wondering, in the 90s era, that was the steroid era, with guys like Sammy Sosa, who recently just came out and said that yes, he used steroids. With, of course, guys like Mark McGwire and Roger Clemens, also players that were famous taking steroids. Now, to my knowledge, Sammy Sosa has been in the game before for the MLB Show series. Why? Mark McGwire's also been in there. Clemens, to my knowledge, has. But the question is, will MLB The Show decide to bring in Barry Bonds? A lot of people, including myself, believe that the guy who leads with the most home runs, and Barry Bonds, it's not the true home run king because, let's face it, he had some help. I still say Aaron. Don't know why I'm not thinking of his last name. Hank Aaron, yeah, that's it. Hank Aaron, I believe, was a true home run king compared to what Barry Bonds did. But at the same time, you gotta look at it as technically it wasn't against the rules because they never really said anything against the steroid era for the longest time until many fans were crying quite a bit foul against Major League ball players at the time, like Barry Bonds, even though San Francisco fans loved it and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure he is still loved to this day in the Giants uniform. Well, even though there should be a special quote beside his name as the home run leader overall with the most home runs than anybody else in Major League Ball. He leads home runs a lot in the department. I got a chance that I might have one of my computer players in the actual video game season in Brandon Belt to actually possibly have the most home runs than Barry Bonds, which truthfully would probably not happen, but nonetheless I do have that chance with Brett and Belt there. Yeah, so see what happens there. So, fortunately, yeah, this ends up being a longer episode than I thought because I ended up taking a bathroom break. So, either way, in the end, Jays sweep the Giants, gets their 6th win in a row, and we are now officially 3 games away from the All-Star break. Let's see. Let's quickly look. Let's look at the standings right now. 95 games in. Of course, I have a massive lead with a 26-game lead over the Yankees. I know if I played it a little harder, it would be more interesting, which I will play the next time around. but I'm playing where I'm playing at this time around. So, either way, that's the East. Rays last, 31 games behind. Red Sox followed that, 31 games behind. Orioles are 26.5 games behind. And the Yankees go 26 games behind to the Blue Jays. In the Central, more realistic standing. White Sox are dead last in the AL Central with being 19 games behind. Tigers follow that at 7.5. Man, what a season they had last year in real life. I mean, they surprised everybody, made it to the next round. Almost beat Cleveland. They had a great season. The Twins are 5.5. The Guardians, well, in the Indians in my case, because as far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't have chasing me. I don't care what a person's political standing is. But anyways, they're 4.5 games back, while the Royals are first in the Central. In the AL West, Athletics, which is going to be weird, as they apparently moved to Vegas, what I was told. I don't know how true this is, but apparently they moved to Vegas. So this might be the last time you see the name Oakland Athletics in MLB The Show. Unless it's not happening right away, I don't know. But anyways, that's only 3 games back in the West, followed by the Angels being 18 games back, then Seattle Mariners 17 games back. Just sweeping them really did not help them at all. But the Rangers there, who was World Series champions 2 years ago, or technically last year, as this game is the 2024, is 9 games back with the Astros, of course. Why am I not surprised? First overall with a 57-36 record. They seem to be the second best team in the AL. The wild card position, of course, there's 2 wild card spots. The Indians hold it overall with a 50-44 record, followed by the Twins, then the Yankees, then the Rangers, with the Orioles a half game back. In the National League East, we got Florida Marlins 20 games back. Nationals 18.5 back. Mets 15-5. They did alright this year in real life. Braves are 2 games back, and of course Philly looks like the second best team in the league with a 59-34 record. Is first in the National League East. And then in the Central, we got Cardinals 6.5 back, Brewers 2 games back, the Pirates 1 game back, the Cubbies 1 game back, and then of course Reds lead 48-47. Oh, that could change throughout the season. And then in the West, Rockies 28 games back. Giants 15 games back. So I guess me sweeping their ass did not help them out at all. Padres are 14 games back, and the Dodgers are 1 game back against the Diamondbacks, who is 59-35. So technically, I will be facing one of the best clubs, the second best club. Technically the second best club, because Phillies have one less loss than Arizona, as Arizona is 59-35. So by the looks of things, I should actually have a pretty good battle in that 3-game series on the next episode of Blue Jays Baseball with the Diamondbacks. Wild card spot is owned by the Dodgers, with the Braves also holding the spot. Cubbies, then the Pirates, then the Brewers are 1 game back. Should be interesting to see how that pans out against the Arizona Diamondbacks in the next episode of Blue Jays Baseball. Well, anyways, there's the stats for the thing. Let's see. I don't know. League leaders. Let's see here. Why not? Since this is a long episode, I might as well. Batting average. Brandon Belt with a 382 batting average. His first overall. With Bo Bichette following. And then, of course, Perez. Longtime Royals catcher. Very, very likable guy. Third. Hits. You got Bo with 131 hits. Wow. Compared to Penta there, who's 117. At bats, you got Penta, who's got more play appearances. But he only has 117 hits. So long as Bo keeps doing what he's doing. Doubles. Oh, Penta actually leads doubles. I thought Bo did. Bo's at 35. Penta, even though Bo has more hits, has 5 more doubles than Bo. Interesting. The triple leader, of course, would be, why am I not surprised, Bobby Wood Jr. I mean, he is now, as many people would say, the fastest man in baseball today. He has 7 triples. Also, Jose Siri has 7. I'm nowhere close to that department. Home runs, of course, Brandon Belt leads the league with 49. Would have loved to get the 50th in Giant Stadium. Did not. Danny Jansen, 37, and Varsho is 31. The only computer player closest to me is at 30. Wow. And then, of course, Lagreo, of course, hit that 2-run shot home run, which became number 30 for him, his 5th. Mike Trout, wow. He's only at 24. RBIs, Brandon Belt, of course, with a massive lead with 92 RBIs. That's not a surprise with the amount of home runs he's hit. Runs actually goes to Jose Avatar of the Houston Astros, 81 runs. And actually, Houston's 1-2-3. I don't think I'm going to catch him. 9 runs. Stolen bases, Kevin Kiermaier has a commanding lead over everybody, 45 stolen bases. Closest guy is, of course, Yankee Barrett there with 29, so looks like Kevin Kiermaier will be looking like the stolen base king for this year. Bases on balls, close situation there. On On base percentage, 422. Can't go on with that. Slugging percentage, of course, 969 for Brendan Belt. Only closest guy to him is the Astros guy. Before a couple of my own Blue Jays. Oprah, well, yeah, 135, 1355. Not bad for Brendan Belt, especially hitting 49 home runs. You think Kuchar leads the league in wins with 16. Bailey is the guy with no losses yet. That might change if I end up facing him. Closest guys to them, of course, would be Jose Barrios and Kevin Kiermaier. Kevin Gossman, I should say, with 2. Unfortunately, I think I only take on the Minnesota one time for the year. So, doubt that I can give him a couple losses, unless, of course, he ends up getting losses by the computer. The guy with the most saves, John Schroeder of the Royals with 32. Of course, Brad ends at 25. Thing is, what's so funny is he's actually not declared a closing pitcher for the Royals, as the roster shows. Heck, if I wanted to, I could trade and get him. But not. ERA 196. Damn. Looking like he's going to be the Cy Young winner. He's going to have to have some better innings as he goes out. Wells is given the least home runs with 7. Shutouts, of course, he's QT at 3. Balin, of course, at 3. Strikeouts, well, you think QT at 155 strikeouts. So he's 45 away from 200. So that's a good chance that I could get that. Complete gauge, you see QT has 7 complete gauge. And what was the other thing? Oh, shutouts. Oh, okay. So, innings pitched, you see QT at 148 pitches. A guy that's second to him in overall as pitchers go is Baden at 133. I have not allowed a walk, which of course that's understandable. I mean, this is against the computer. I mean, yeah, I can walk some people by forcing walks, but usually I haven't had that situation where I've had to. So he whipped, of course, Yusei Tuche. The belt batting war. Jansen's close to him. And then, of course, there's the batting average. All-Star voting right now. There is the MLB All-Star voting right now. So it looks like I might have 2 Blue Jays in the All-Star game for starting pitchers. Relievers. Oh. Might have one with Matt Bonds, but doubt it. Emmett Chase. Yeah, not surprised that he's the overall closing pitcher, even though if Snyder was declared closing pitcher, he'd be leading that. Catches, Danny Jansen. Okay, so I got one Blue Jay there for sure, so that's at least 3 Blue Jays for the All-Star game. Brandon Belt and Vlad. Maybe 4 and 5. Interesting. Not surprised that Houston's man is up there with the stats he's got. Rafael Devers has somewhat of a lead at third base. Oh, looks like another thing there. Oh, holy shit. It's close, but I don't think he's going to catch him. Unless he does really, really good against the Diamondbacks. Dalton Varsho has a commanding lead in left field. That's not a surprise. Kevin Kiermaier has a commanding lead there. And of course George Springer has a commanding lead there. Wow, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, possibly 10 players for All-Stars. National League. Chris Sales. Okay. That's the relievers. Okay. Not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised, actually. David Fry, really? Kind of surprised me on that for third base in the National League voting. Trey Turner had Mookie Betts. Even though Betts is easily won that. Not surprised those two are 1-2 in the shortstop department. Christian Young, well, they got a good name to him. As the left fielder there, Michael Hayes the second. Wow. Corey Bellinger followed up. Rondo, of course, Jr. First day, he just is leading by 5. Wow, that's a close race. Showing me Tommy, not surprised. Yeah, very felt obviously the better of the DHs. So let's see. Not a close race. Somewhat close. Not a close race. Not a close race. Not a close race. Close race. Somewhat of a close race. Close race. Somewhat of a close race. Somewhat of a close race. Somewhat of a close race. Not even close. Pitches, close race there. Actually, you go back to the American League here. Two guys have hand down picked it, while the other ones are really cool. Then there's technically a close race between these two, and then a very close race between these two. Interesting. National thing, close race in the relieving department. Somewhat of a close race for closing pitches. Close race for catcher. Not a close race, in my opinion, for first baseman in the National League. Scobbs, he has somewhat of a good lead over, there. Fry has somewhat of a close race against Jake. Not even close to Brandon Belt there. Yes, he's won that one by a landslide. Michael, he's won that one by a landslide. Kind of surprised of how close that race is between these two players. But then the Diamondbacks in the video game world is doing well, so I guess that's understandable. So he's going to be a challenge when the Jays face him. DH, not even close. So it should be interesting. So there's the All-Star voting as of right now, with 3 games remaining before the All-Star break. But of course the Jays will have to face Arizona Diamondbacks, which is one of the best teams in the league, other than my Blue Jays. So I imagine I'm going to have a good matchup against these Arizona Diamondbacks. Either way, that's where everything stands. So once again, Jays get their 6th win in a row, sweeping both Seattle and the Giants before heading to the Diamondbacks. And then after those 3 games, we'll be at the Home Run Derby, then All-Star. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out. Anyways, the Jays ended up winning this one 7-5. Bonds, of course, gets his 4th win as a relief pitcher. Like Cobbs gets his thing. Of course, Chad Green, after Brad Hands kind of blew the lead, comes in to get the save. Anyways, once again, John and Chris, thanks for calling the action in this long video. But in the end, the Blue Jays win, sweeping the series against the Giants, going on to their 6th win in a row, with a 7-5 victory over the San Francisco Giants. Next up will be next episode will be the Blue Jays against the Arizona Diamondbacks. One of the best against the best. Should be a good matchup. Until then, this is the One True Joker. Thank you for watching MLB The Show 24. And until then, this is the One True Joker officially signing out. See you next time on the show.